Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Norm's Friends. I'm David B., the readings guy. 603-404-9338. And as luck would have it again, I have company. Let them know who you are.
I am Caesar the Fourth, DuPont Jr. No, I'm Anthony Williams, a local artist, and
The best local artist.
Yeah.
That's what you keep leaving out.
I'll settle for good. It's just a big part of my life. That's it's something that you don't want to give up, because you figure even when you get older, you can sit in your own house and paint. You don't have to climb a ladder. You don't have to go to the mall. You don't have to fight traffic. You can sit in your house and paint. Or you can come here and have your own show, which I do. And today I worked on what I've been calling City Girl. And I brought it with me today. She just gave me that look like, please take me on Norm's Friends. So I said, okay. So in 2 weeks, I'll be doing another demo. But I brought her along. It was just that sad look in her eye. I just had to do it. So we're going to have fun today and maybe just talk about the world.
We can do that because it's a big world and there's a lot going on.
There is? Are you kidding me?
I love the news this morning with all these
Protesting?
right, all these satanic supporters, Satan supporters out there. Hamas, I love it, pro-Hamas demonstrations. What they're really, and they won't say it, it's pro-Muslim. They're afraid to say that word, and that's why it just keeps snowballing and snowballing and snowballing, because, you can't talk about them.
Yeah. Well, it's so divided, and like I said earlier, people should be allowed to have a difference of opinion. But at the same time, when you take that difference in opinion and you add violence and you're destroying property, that's wrong. You are protesting, quote, violence, but yet you use violence in your protest. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why people are so pro-Palestinian.
Because they're filled with hate, because they don't nourish their soul.
You get to a point where if people would just sit down and study what's going on, you'll find out that there never has, and this is fact, there never has been a Palestinian state. Never. All the way back to Babylon, and Babylon all the way up here. There has never been a Palestinian state. And I don't like the idea that our government right now, along with a few more, are pushing Israel to settle for a two-state situation. It's just beyond me to comprehend how people can just turn their heads when Israel was attacked on October the 7th, mass murdered, 1,200 plus people, 350 hostages taken, and these same people, young kids on college campuses, have no idea of history, are out there pro-Palestinian. Like it's the Israelis' fault that they were attacked. But they were attacked. It's okay to murder 1,200 people and rape little girls and blow up hospitals, but it's not right to defend your country? It doesn't make sense. Imagine if that happened and somebody blew up the White House. Do you think that we'd sit there and go, well, I think we should think this one over and figure out how we can have a war without anybody getting killed? Folks, that's what war is. It's a horrible thing, but it's upon us, and it's going to get worse. But I would just like people to study this Israeli, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi, and study the situation, find out, get your information, and then you'll say to yourself, why was I pro-Palestinian when there has never been a Palestinian state? Anyway, that's a logical way of looking at it. And saying to yourself, yes, war it's evil. You would figure we've been on this planet for going on 6,000 years, and we still can't get along. We have to fight over religion, money, power, land. It's just outrageous. Just think if everybody got along, what we could do. I bet we could cure cancer, set up a moon base. We could all learn, all experience, no matter what color you were, no matter what nationality you were. We've got, as human beings, to live and let live and learn. There's a lot of things on this planet that we just don't know, even though we've been here thousands of years. There's animal species that we've never seen, they're finding every day, fish under the ocean. There's new cosmo extravaganzas in the universe every day. Why don't we just get along?
I agree, but to expand on that a little, just a few things, because I go on Facebook every morning, not sometimes for 5 minutes, sometimes longer. But when you come
your
across,
limit's only 4 minutes and 32 seconds. You better straighten that.
I know, but you read these posts and they're like these pro-Hamas, but that's what it is. They just believe everything they're spoon-fed.
Right.
They don't question anything, and all I'll put down is source, please. They'll come out with something, ridiculous. One of my favorite is such an oxymoron. Queers for Palestine. I just cannot wrap my head around. Queers for Palestine. They want these people dead, and here they are for Palestine.
Right.
I just don't get it. I mean, how dumb is that? I mean, I just can't believe that people are literally that dumb.
Recently in California, they had a drag queen show. So you've got all these.
They're popular now.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to know what I think of them. Anyway.
And me. I know that. Especially in front of kids.
They dress up as women. And it showed, at least 200-300 children out there.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Within 5 minutes of the show, they had the children singing Free Palestine.
I've read that.
Free Palestine.
Yeah.
Free Palestine, it's not even a state. It's not a country. This is what people they've really got to research, especially young, college-educated kids.
They don't.
No. What happened?
You call them out. You should see the names I get called. And all I do, I go sources, or when I say queers for Palestine, that's, I tell them, I go, how dumb are you? I mean, are you really that naive?
Right.
But anyway, you should see you're this, you're that, you're this. and it's like, you can call me whatever you want. I said, but I says, first of all, I said, I'm pro-American, none of this. And then, you go on, they go on about Hamas and this. And of course, what really drives him wild is, you know me, Islam is Satanism, prove me wrong. I can give you tons and tons and tons of comparisons to prove it. Prove me wrong. You can't. I'll take any. I'm all and I'm just a high school educated person.
And I'm sitting next to you.
Um,
Oh my gosh!
But I'll have the discussion with anyone. I mean, if you just Islam and the Quran, all it is about kill, 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 kill. And again, this is the one. God wrote the 10 Commandments. What is it? Thou shalt not kill, and that's all they talk about.
Actually, it's translated "Thou shalt not murder."
Okay.
Hebrew.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if somebody's trying to kill you and you kill them, that's not murder.
That's right.
But
Exactly.
it is translated "Thou shalt
No.
not commit murder." But this world has come to the point now where the whole thing is divide and conquer. You've got mass media that really shocked me, where now when you get on the internet, you have to be careful what you say. You have to be
Yeah.
careful who you're saying it to. You don't know who is trying to hack you and get into your accounts. At the same time, they take a story, add more to it, delete some, put
Yeah.
it together as the truth. People swallow it and go, "Hey, wow," but
Yeah.
it's false. You've got to learn, and I've had to do the same thing. There was a lot of people that were sending me news links or stories, and now I've got it down to people I can trust. If
I send you news links.
yeah, Tom Fenton. You know,
Yeah.
now you're talking to somebody that's got common sense. There's another one, PragerU.
Yeah. I get those myself.
He's a good man. He's got a
Yep.
brain in his head. Now, Carlson, Tucker,
Yeah.
or Tucker Carlson, whatever.
Tucker Carlson.
I'm keeping my eye on him because he made a couple statements that I just kind of disagreed with. To me, I figure that everybody is on the same page, and that's my mistake. I know that people have difference of opinion,
Yeah.
but you've got to realize too, you have to be able to back up what you believe in. And I like to back up facts.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
history is one way of doing that is looking back in history. It's just like when Black Lives Matter came out. They were still crying, saying that the white race is empowered and the white race owes them money from
Yeah.
years of slavery. And I'm telling them, or what do they call it, reparations or something, and we don't owe
That's it.
them diddly squat. If they want to take whites being slaves, then why don't they read the history of Ireland? And you'll find out that a lot of white slaves from Ireland were shipped to this country and forced to do all kinds of labor. You will find out in Africa that African tribes were selling their young men as slaves so that they could have precious jewelry or quartz or
That's right.
gold or silver or something. So people need to read and understand history. And it's the same thing, like I said, it goes on with Israel has a very, very long and complicated factual history. If you're a Christian, you're going to understand that I believe the Bible. It definitely will tell you what's going to happen in the future. It's just like one of their recent prophecies was that the Euphrates River would dry up. Well, guess what? It dried up 2 months, 3 months ago. Just dried up.
Yeah.
And it says right there. So you've got to understand that God gave the land to the Israelites. And if you look at Israel, you could pick it up and put it inside the state of Connecticut. That's how small it is. But those people have survived for a reason. And I honestly believe that God's going to protect them.
He is.
They're going to get through this somehow. But I also wish, like I said, that people would understand, read, before they open their mouth and go pro-Palestine, free Palestine.
Exactly.
It's like we got this guy, older man, sits on Elm Street with a big sign, free Palestine. Free it from what? It's not even a state people. It's a group of people that have lived there, and Hamas has taken them over.
And Muslim Brotherhood.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then it just keeps growing, and now you've got China threatening Taiwan and every day flying jets over there just to intimidate them. And now you've got Russia being bombed by AI missiles launched from the Ukraine. Now Putin is saying, okay, you wait and see. So you never know what that man's got cooked up. And all these countries are joining NATO. They've had it. They don't want to go back under communist rule.
Well, you can't blame them.
No.
I wouldn't want them.
No.
Right.
You know, it's just the way it is.
Right. So, want to digress a little, and we can do a inspirational quote and the
Well, I don't
fun
know
fact.
about digressing, but I suppose I could shut up for 10 minutes or so.
And then we still have to go over your artwork.
I like it. It's just, well, anyway, we'll talk about that one.
All right. So we'll do this. So this was, I like changing things up, you know.
Sure.
So, all right. So here we are. I like this.
You
book.
Palestinians are all alike.
This is all, it gets better. So here's the inspirational quote for today. Take risks with your goodness. Test the limits of your goodness. Don't just love, astonish people with your love. And that was Matthew Kelly from I'm Not Done Growing Yet. I kind of like that. I just got that as a little email, and it's what do they call it? Oh God, I even forgot. It's your scripture, something, you know, something that sort of relate you to scripture or something like that. But I saw that, so I liked it. And then, of course, the interesting fun facts goes back to what you mentioned before, which a lot of people don't do anymore: reading.
Right.
And I got this off. I always look at the source. All it is Basmo, BASMO.app. That's what it said at the top of the article. So, and we have 11. They had like 40 of them, but I didn't want to take 3 shows. So here we are. Interesting fun facts about reading. All right. Interesting fun fact number 1. Illiteracy is a constant problem. The sad part is that, according to a UNESCO report from 2006, so a long time ago, more than 13 million young people are and will remain for the rest of their lives unable to read. And I think that's why they're all out there doing this pro-Hamas garbage, because they don't read and they believe everything that they're being spoon-fed.
Right.
Without question. without question.
It's a shame that the educational system all over the place, especially in the United States, it's gone to hell.
It has gone to hell. And they even want to bring it below hell. Interesting fun fact number 2. You know, they say there's a natural cure for everything, right? Okay, got this? There's a couple in here. Reading reduces stress. Reading a good book after a long and stressful day works wonders on our state of mind. Studies have actually shown that leafing through a book can be up to 600% more effective in relieving stress than playing a video game and 300% more efficient than going for a walk. See that?
There you go.
According to a 2009 study conducted by the University of Sussex, only 6 minutes of reading can reduce stress levels by up to 68%. It is quicker and works better than many other stress-lowering methods like listening to music or drinking a cup of tea or having a cocktail. I'm adding all this now. Or having a cocktail or a beer or taking meds.
Yeah, taking meds. Yeah.
All right. Get this, I like this one. Interesting fun fact number 3. Reading is like cardio for your brain. Joseph Addison, whoever he is or was, said that,
He's a Mexican midget.
you know, obviously he doesn't know how to spell them. He said that reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Reading brings existing neural pathways to life and keeps your brain elastic and active. Maybe that's why, at least I like to think mine still is because I used to write all those years of court reporting. It's like daily I read transcript after transcript. And that people like, how come you don't read books? And it's like, I read transcripts every day. Who wants to read
You
a
should
book?
work at the White House.
Right. I know. All right. Interesting fun fact number 4. Here we go again, Anthony. Reading lowers blood pressure and heart rate. Look at that. Reading a book has been found to reduce blood pressure and lower the heart rate. By helping your mind relax, it helps your body relax as well. Who would have ever thought? But, you know, it makes sense because I always figure one connected to the other, so.
Yeah.
Interesting fun fact number 5. Reading, here we go, and this is from me being when I was a court reporter. Reading delays the onset of age-related mental issues. It has been shown that reading books and engaging in mentally challenging activities like playing puzzle games helps slow down the cognitive decline in old age.
Huh.
That results in lower chances of Alzheimer's disease or other age-related neurodegenerative diseases for people who read regularly. Blessed me. A study from the University of California. They're not really reliable anymore, are they?
California?
Yeah.
I'd have to.
I know. It's what goes on there. No. A study from the University of California, well, questionable university, we'll say that, shows that people with a high literacy level are 4 to 5 times less likely to suffer mental declines with old age. Do you read, by the way?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm behind on my reading now, but I'm going to get back into
good.
it. I've been reading the Book of Enoch. You talk about a.
Oh, you know, I put that down. I don't have far to go on it.
Well, you better pick it up again.
Because I don't have far to, but I have 2 versions of it. I gave them both to you.
Yeah, I got them.
I forget which one I'm reading, but I'm almost done with it.
You talk
It's
about
not
a book that, well, it was taken out of the Bible in, I think, 454 A.D. by
That's
the
when it was-
Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And then people argued to get it back in, but then it didn't. Even the Jews didn't throw it all the way out, but anyway, it's a very interesting book. You want to know
It
what's
is.
going on before we were here, and
Yeah.
how the giants got here, and how the pyramids got here.
But if you put it all together about the full moon is once every 30 days and
Yeah.
it talks all about that. And that's what I always figure, if you could sort of like connect all the dots in the book of Enoch,
Yeah.
you'd be pretty intelligent. All right. Interesting fun fact number 6, because that's what we're on. Number 6. Reading can help depression and anxiety. How do you like it's amazing. Reading can help alleviate depression, especially reading fiction, since it can help people temporarily escape their own world and immerse themselves in the adventures of the characters they read about. And not only that, but studies have also shown that reading can have a positive effect on anxiety symptoms as well. It gets better. I thought of you when I saw this one.
Uh-oh.
Reading can help us sleep better, because wasn't just the other week we were talking about it.
Yeah.
You said you don't really fall asleep that well, right? I'm like asleep in 2 minutes.
See,
Thank God.
that's the way it used to be up until about 3 months ago, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm tossing and turning, and I look at the clock, and it's 3:15 in the morning,
Well,
5
that
o'clock in the
stinks.
morning. And Sylvester gets me up every morning at 6:30 to feed. He just started doing that a couple of months ago.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how he got to.
Leave him extra dry food before you
I
go to
do?
bed, because Fred does the same thing. If he's got food, it's fine. If he doesn't have food, it's the same thing. At like 5 or 5:30.
Yeah.
He jumps up, and then what he does is I'm lying down, and it's always on my right side, and he'll walk up to like right about here,
Yeah.
and he purrs. He goes like, he pokes with his paw. All right.
Sylvester told me he's in the union for me to get my butt out of bed and feed him now.
That's right. All right. Interesting fun fact number 7. Reading can help us sleep better. We all know how important sleep is for our health. Reading before going to bed has been shown to help people fall asleep easier and quicker. Sleep readiness is something many of us struggle with, especially those of us who spend a lot of time looking at our phones before going to bed. Do you do that? Okay. Leafing through a book before going to bed instead of looking at our phones can make a huge difference. And I never thought of that, but I never look at my phone.
I've heard turn your TV off an hour before you go to bed. Turn your computer off, keep it off.
Yeah.
I mean, you've told me that, and Patty was telling me. I said, it's funny because Dave told me that the other week.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, there's something about the light in the TV.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Interesting fun fact number 8. Reading is a lot easier than you think if you know how. We all know that reading is important, but many people still see it as a chore rather than a pleasant activity. See, that was me when I was all those years of court report, when I was reading the transcripts. It wasn't pleasant because I did it for work.
Right.
The good news is that even if you're one of those people who see reading as a chore, you can still achieve a lot with very little effort. All right. Keeps getting better. There's only 3 left. Wow, somebody's going deaf out there. Interesting fun fact number 9. Reading makes you an overall better person. And that's what I'm doing right now. Reading. Imagine. One of the most interesting facts about reading books is how much it can actually change a person. Reading is not only a great hobby, it is an amazing self-developmental tool. making a habit out of leafing through a book every now and then can actually make you a much better person. I mean, I'm reading a book. After when I finish, I'll give it to you. It's because it's about warfare, warfare in the end times.
Yeah.
I think you'd enjoy it. And
Well,
I just started it, but you know, it's interesting. So it's, I mean, I'm probably on page, I don't know, 40 or 50 maybe. So
look what we had today. Like in the Ukraine, their military was taken over by AI. And that's why they're able to launch missiles now directly into Russia. They're not as far advanced as Russia is,
right.
but they're turning their whole military is run by artificial intelligence. And that's something that it's not going to go away. This is something that's going to end up controlling everything.
Yeah.
And like they say, in the United States alone, it could take over 300 million jobs. Just
Wow.
like, they're not going to need people because they got robots that can load trucks, unload trucks, robots that can cook food, robots that can take your order. You know what I mean?
Thank God they don't have robots that can make cocktails.
They'll have them. They'll have them. You know, I mean, like I say, I'm 74 now, so I can only imagine what the world's going to be like. But
We'll be seeing it from up there.
it's getting to the point now where I say to myself, how far are we going to go? I mean, how far? What are we going to do when we don't need humans anymore? Or we'll keep a couple around.
Well, that's the plan now.
Yeah, 2 billion.
Is that what they want? So they
Yeah.
want to kill like 6 billion?
It's like the Georgia Guidestones. Nobody to this day knows who put them up. But I read those a decade or so ago. These people want a new world order,
Yeah.
and they only want 2 billion people on the planet. And I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
And then I'll let you get back to what you're saying. That's, in my opinion, that's why there's so much pro-abortion. There's abortion pills.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to a doctor now. You just take the pill and it kills your baby. To me, there's something wrong there.
I agree.
When you devalue human life, I mean, there's just, look where we're headed, man.
Satan hard at work.
It sure is.
That's what it is. 2 left.
Okay.
Interesting fun fact number 10. By reading more, you become smarter. It's a fact. A study conducted by the University of Edinburgh and King's College London definitely concluded that there is a direct link between reading ability and IQ. The researchers did 5 separate tests on almost 1,900 pairs of twins between the ages of, I forgot the first one, and 16, so we'll say 6 and 16. And they found the twin with a higher reading ability have better verbal and nonverbal cognitive abilities. See that? Yeah.
You know what else is good for people? Art.
That's right. I agree. It's probably almost, well, if you can do it. I know, because I mean, it's similar, but I'm sure it reduces your heart rate and stress and depression and anxiety and nervousness and that, because it's, you go into another realm when you're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So I can, but someone, I was always interested in it, because I told you, my father was unbelievable, and this is only a couple of years ago, this lady I know, she bought, because don't ask me why, for some reason I always thought I'd be better with pencils as opposed to paint.
Yeah, try it.
She got me all these things, and I I tried a couple of times. I get discouraged easily because to me, it's like a second grader. I
Yeah.
want, doesn't have to be perfect, but maybe I'll give it another go.
Well, I look at it and I tell artists on my show when they come, and it's true, art is therapy.
Yeah, it is.
And don't get discouraged. I'm still learning, and I've got murals, wow, TV stations, hospitals, all around this city, Loudon, New Hampshire, and I'm still learning. Still learning. And yeah, so I mean, when you come to a point where you know everything in art, then it would get kind of boring. But to me, it adds a lot to me. Like her face, I've been arguing with that for I don't know how many weeks now, but it's fun. I may get groany a little bit, but when I look at it, it's don't let it get me down.
Yeah,
I got enough things to do anyway. So
All right, and finally, last but not least, interesting fun fact, number 11. How can you go wrong with this? Reading makes you a happier person. Maybe that's why I'm so up, because I did all those years of reading transcripts,
I think
day in and day
it's
out.
because of all the cucumber and peanut butter that you eat.
Is that
No, it's you've got to have something to do, and
Yeah, you do.
the human brain to me is fascinating, to say the least, and it's the best computer in the world.
Yeah, and how?
It's here's something else I'm going to throw in there. I don't know if you've ever heard this or not before, but you can check it out. Do you know what the numerical value of the word computer is?
2. No, I don't know what.
666.
How did you come up with that?
I got a book back in the 80s, and the name of the book was When Your Money Fails.
Yeah.
And it talks about there'll be a cashless society.
Which is
And-
part of the mark of the beast or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the number of his name will be 666. Each letter in the alphabet has a numerical value to it. So if you take the word computer and you
Yeah.
add up all the numbers, it comes out 666.
Yeah, but, well, I don't know what you mean by add up all the numbers, because there's no numbers in computer, it's letters.
No. Each letter
Oh,
has
okay.
a numerical value.
I got it now, yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
I
it's about
got it.
time. Stay off that peanut butter and cucumber.
There you go. All right, let me just finish this, and then you can tell us all about.
I'm just full of gravy today, but heart attack. Leave me alone. People.
All right. Last but not least, I'll start from the beginning. Interesting fun fact number 11. Reading makes you a happier person. You should be reading it. Look. Makes you a happier person, since a good book can work wonders in alleviating stress and depression. It's pretty obvious why people who read more are more self-confident and happy.
Yeah.
By surveying more than 4,000 adults, the University of Liverpool, where the Beatles are from,
Yeah.
concluded that readers are happier, less stressed, cope better with challenges, and have more close friends than non-readers. How do you like that one? And so there you have it. Imagine, so if you read, look at that, you're like a well-balanced, well-rounded individual.
Reading is, well, it's something you need to do.
Yeah, I agree, it is.
I was always amazed when you find a person can speak 4 or 5 different languages. I've always found that fascinating because
me.
sometimes I have a hard time with English, let alone French or anything else. In high school, we took French classes.
Yeah.
I remember them ending. Mrs. King was her name.
Yeah.
I think she had a death in the family or something. But I was really getting into it because I was learning to speak French. I tried other languages, and nothing for me. I can't speak Portuguese. I can't speak
Bom dia.
poop de loo. I get to a point where, it's beyond me, so I just go Scooby-Doo. It's good old English to me.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, you've got English people, it just goes around in circles there. And here we are.
Do that pretty good, Anthony.
So it's at a point where I gave it up. And these people like, what was there? There was an actor. Remember the guy that played Boss Hogg?
Oh, the fat guy on the
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard.
He was the crook, the smart, he spoke 60 different languages.
How can you speak that many?
I
You
don't know.
can't. Well, let me see. Spanish, hola.
You know who else could speak more than one language? Shirley Temple.
Really?
She ended up retiring from the movies because she'd made her money as a little girl.
Girl, yeah.
And when she got older, she got offered a job at the United Nations, and she jumped right on it.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. But you just, how do these people learn it? Yeah, I think it was 60 languages.
I find that one hard to believe.
Yeah, me too. But I mean,
60.
I think it was 60. It could have been less, but I remember I was like, but he's an actor. And then I began to think, He also played Archie Bunker's boss on All in the Family.
Who did? Boss Hogg?
Yeah, same guy. I'm trying to remember his real name. And he was
I can picture him as clear as day, but
Yeah.
I don't know his name either.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
her? Daisy Duke.
Yeah, there you go.
How can anyone forget? Can you forget that?
Daisy Duke, yeah. Driving down the highway or the country road and see something like her, yeah. I'd pull over and say, "You want to ride, my dear?" Come to the old man's mansion.
I know. Look, before we're out of time, let's show them that and sort of explain what's going on with it.
Okay. Can I do this? You're giving me that sad-eyed look again. Okay. This is it, huh? All right. This is what I worked on today. Here, try and get this is called City Girl. And I started, a couple months ago. And on my show, I was going through and building it up, working a little bit here and a little bit there. But today was my last day for her. But what I'm going to do is finish it. I know I've said this before. Well, it sits around for 2 weeks. And I say, okay, I'm going to do this. So I put it on my to-do table, which is my drawing table.
Yeah.
And it looks at me for 2 weeks, and then it goes, "But you didn't finish me." So I'm gonna finish it. I kind of like it. There's, I gotta fix the eyes a little bit more, and
Well, I like the rays there.
coming out.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going over this again and putting a raise in again. It's just a city, but I'm thinking about putting a road right here with some
Yeah.
street lights. And putting some windows in here and there. But I'm also going to play around with this a little bit.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I like that effect.
this I got from the architecture down here on Elm Street. All the windows along some of the buildings.
Yeah.
And I've got at least 7 or 8 paintings going strictly depicting homelessness. Every day that I drive through Elm Street, sometimes just to get out of the house, I get in my car, if it starts, and I'll drive. I don't know why that started like that, but I just drive downtown and I like to observe people that are homeless or people that are crippled, and you wonder, you see a man or a woman that's moving about 2 feet every 5 minutes because they're so crippled. You know, you feel sorry for them, and then you say to yourself, you know, oh my gosh, that'll be me in another 10 years or so. I hope not.
No.
But I studied the situations, like when the homeless situation started in 2020. I mean, look at it now. It's going on 4 years. Who's done anything about it? I mean, there's all kinds of plans, and I'm sure that that people have tried. They just got rid of the lady that was in charge of it. They gave her, I don't know how many thousands of dollars.
I thought she quit because
Well,
she knew there was
repercussions.
right, but you know that people weren't exactly pleased with her
So they gave her, I
performance.
think it was 78,000.
Wow, I wouldn't have given her anything
But
for
the
not
thing
doing
is,
your job.
it's a bigger problem than we think too. Because think about it. At least when I looked at this, I'm thinking, and I only saw this in Manchester until later on,
You only saw what in Manchester?
the homeless.
Oh,
Until I got on the computer, on the internet, and then I'm going, wow. I'm hearing from my friend in Indiana, and she says the same thing's going on there.
Yeah.
California. I got another
Lowell.
Colorado, Illinois, and I'm going, wow. It's almost to me like somebody pushed a button, and all these young people, all of a sudden, they didn't have a place to live, and they didn't have this, and they didn't have that. And I'm beginning to think, how old are these people? All this stuff goes through your mind because
Yeah.
you wonder how it all happened and why all over the United States. And then you find out it's happening in other countries too. So what?
believe it or not, I didn't see any in Buenos Aires.
That's because they swept them all into a barn.
Because they knew I was visiting, I know.
Yeah,
so
here comes
they
Dave.
said,
Hide
right,
him."
let's clean it up.
Yeah, sweep them in the barn. But it's just, I know that there's so many different problems with so many different people. You can't pile them all up and say, okay, you're a bunch of lazy bums. There's some people that
You're a bunch of druggies. Get out of here.
Right.
Get out of here.
the drug thing really bothers me. I mean, it really does. This shooting up fentanyl.
Ugh.
I mean, the needles. When the TV station was on Elm, there were 2 needles out there,
Yeah.
and I took them home, and now they're going to be added to my paintings. I'm going to draw the needles and everything.
Good thing you didn't jab yourself. You don't know what you could have
Well, I
caught.
did. I've got.
What did you see if there was a taste left?
Yeah, I stuck it in my arm, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and there's an arm growing out of my back. So I've got a third arm going. It's so. In another couple of weeks, it's going to be full-grown arm. So.
No.
You can call me 3-Arm Willie.
Oh,
But-
no.
It's just. No, I was very careful. I don't touch them. I wear rubber gloves.
Yeah.
Or I have paper. But what I'm going to do is just sketch them out and then get rid of them, throw them away, because I don't want them hanging around.
When I was living in Lowell, years ago, naturally, but I can remember, well, I lived the next street over from the homeless shelter, the
Yeah.
transitional center, excuse
Right.
me, the homeless shelter. Anyway, so, like, there's that, and I lived on this street, and well, the parking garage was sort of like in between the both of them, and they had, the little baskets that they have, the cement container things.
Yeah.
Naturally, at the garage entrances, I remember going there one morning, and I flagged the cops down. I swear to God, hundreds of needles. Somebody just dumped them on the ground near the the rubbish the receptacles, and I was like, I can't believe how many there were. I flagged the cops down. He even said, he says, you got to be kidding me. Wherever they came from, who knows? But boy, oh boy, they were there. I always remember that.
Here's what's always gotten me. I guess I never forgot it when I read it. They were talking about the dangers of not just the drug itself, but they were talking about people that are under the influence of drugs that are shooting up with needles.
Yeah.
And if they get one little air bubble, they're gone.
They were gone. That's right. I heard that also.
It goes to your heart, and then poof, that's it. You're dead.
Oops.
Poor little fella.
I know. Don't ask me what all that was about.
What'd you say, Crystal Ball? Oh, I don't blame you. Take him to court.
I don't know how that happened.
Energy lady didn't call.
Nope. Mary didn't call. Gina didn't call. Mr. Whoopi didn't call. Maybe the phone's not working again. Because remember, the first month we were here, I didn't get one call. And the phone wasn't working. But I know, no calls. But that's all right. So, I got a question now I want to ask you about. Like, you put it on your to-do table, and you say, like, you haven't picked it up in 2 weeks.
All right.
Right? So now, let's just say, do you ever will say, pick it up, I'll use this as an example, after however much time goes by, and just sort of like, we'll say, do a couple of strokes and something just says that's enough that's it for today? Or do you sort of like leave,
Well, like today, I told them on my show, this will be the last show on City Girl demo. So I'm going to be doing, in 2 weeks, because I only shoot every 2 weeks, I'll have something else to work on. But what I'm going to do is, because there's a lot of detail work that I have to do with the eyes. They've got to be just right for me. I'm picky. Oh, you have to be.
That's good, though. That's a good way to be.
I'll fix the eyes.
Yeah.
I kind of like the skin tone or flesh tones. I might play with that, but then I'm thinking, she don't look too bad.
No.
So I'll concentrate on what I'm going to do back here.
Yeah.
I want to do something here with the sky. This has to be silver gray, because it's metal. And these are reflections in the glass. So I'm thinking about, should I have somebody, a homeless person there? I might. But when it's done, I'm going to have back on the show and just show people that it's done. Then I'm going to take it to Copy Express and have a print made of this when it's done. Because this is a little different than my artwork. My style here's a little different. It's not a portrait, and I've been dying to get into portraits, and I will eventually because they're hard. But I've got to learn the flesh tones. There's 3 or 4 different colors of paint.
Yeah,
Believe it or not.
I can see it, yeah.
But sometimes you just come to that point where you've had it. You're tired of looking at it, and wow. But this I like. There's just something about it. I think it's her eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm going to finish it.
Bianca Jagger.
Yeah,
That's,
could be.
when you did that, that's what it reminded me
A
of.
friend of mine in Colorado, Eddie Belknap, my nickname was Willie when I was in school. I mean, I've known these kids, we've known each other since we were 6 years old, all the way up until we were 18. Catholic school,
Yeah.
you know, the whole bit. And he said, oh, go ahead and send me the link because I like watching you paint. And he said, that looks like you're painting a picture of Joy, which was my first wife. And no, I'm not, but he just kind of stuck that in there. But I'm going to finish it. A couple things I'm going to play around with this a little bit and beef it up. But there's something about the city that just, I don't know. Looking at Manchester.
I love the city. Obviously, I went to Buenos Aires. I love cities.
Yeah.
Love cities.
You know, when I first got up here, I thought
And subways.
I'm gonna live in Boston. Until I went down and started working in Boston
Yeah.
as a painter, commercial painter. And I looked at some of the slums that were down there,
And they got them.
and they were so high priced. It was
Yeah.
outrageous.
Yeah.
So
They
then
are.
I thought, when I went to New York, I'd been there 2 or 3 times. I thought, wow, because this is where the action is.
Yeah.
Until I checked out the rents,
Yeah.
and I said, not me. So I ended up living in Nashua for quite a while. Then I started working for a real estate company, Band of Properties, for years, and I ended up in Manchester, and this is where I'm going to stay.
Well, I'm next town down, but you got to come down this. It's like in the country. It's like,
Where you live?
yeah,
Sometime
it's
I
in the
will.
woods.
Let me get some things straightened out here.
Yeah.
That car, somebody told me to take it to Kenny Electric, that they're expensive, but they'll find out. They'll hook it all up and find out why it's doing what it's doing. First, they thought it was the starter. No. Then they thought it was the battery. No. And now the guy from AAA said it could be anything electrical. Something is draining. It could be the light you leave on in the inside of your car.
But-
It could be your doors not shut all the way, all this stuff.
But you know, because I did this when you were talking about it earlier, that this happened. This is years ago. I had a town car, right? Mm-hmm. And the same thing started happening. It just wouldn't charge. So we have to be quick. It wouldn't charge, and I can remember it happened in Canada. I was in Quebec City. The thing wouldn't start. I left my car for a week, but not only up there, but I will say up 3, 4, or 5 times to a mechanic because I kept that same thing as you. It wouldn't charge.
No,
Anyway,
it's buying charges.
oh,
Yeah. It's just that something's draining it.
well,
Even when the car's turned off and I'm in bed.
Well, what happened with mine was, are you ready? The salt ate through a wire, and it was, when the coating came off the wire, it was hitting the frame of the car and grounding out. Imagine? That's what it ended up being. But anyway, yeah, so we got to get out of here. Quick, remind them who you are. Okay.
I'll see you in another week. And make sure you watch my show, Art Expressions, and tune in again to Norm's Friends.
All right, there you go. Thanks for the plug. I'm David B, the reading guide. Biffid, B-I-F-F-I-D @yahoo.com. Questions, comments, suggestions, whatever. Get in touch. Stay tuned right after here. Rock, paper, hand grenades. And
847s.
oh, we didn't get to